morning, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to week 2 of Mr. B TV. Couple great things coming up for you today, but first I want to remind everybody, make sure that you sign up for a Smart Music account. Those class codes were included in this email, and a tutorial for signing up is included in last week's email, the week 4 update. Now, first, I'd like to turn it over to Angelique Alphonse from the 7th and 8th grade orchestra. She's going to talk to us about some of the ins and outs of the 2-octave D major scale that the orchestra was working on a couple weeks ago. Some tips and tricks to help us avoid some of the most common mistakes. Make sure that you stay tuned after Angie speaks, because we're going to move to Alex Flynn from the E-Block Band discussing phrasing as it does or doesn't relate to smart music. Enjoy, everybody.
Hello everyone, I'm Angie, and today I'm going to be helping you get in tune with the fingerings on the 2nd octave D major scale, as well as getting that shifting correct to 3rd position and getting it in tune. Okay, so the main common issues is on the E string, trying to get that high G. A lot of people do, instead of a low 2, they kind of do like a normal 2 like you would for an F sharp. So instead of it being a G natural, they do a G sharp. It's the same issue with when you're like going down the D major scale. It's also an issue. Another thing is, of course, shifting into 3rd position. It might not be exactly in tune. It might be too flat or too sharp. So getting that A note as well. And then the C sharp might not always be in tune. It might be too flat, so then it ends up sounding like a C natural instead of a C sharp. And then the high D with your 4th finger might not exactly be in tune. It might be too sharp, too flat, etc. Okay, so I'm going to be helping you out with that. We're going to be using a tuner here. So I suggest using a tuner because you listen for the note and know how to adjust. So, of course, if you're too sharp, you go down, so you're going to go near your scroll. If you're too flat, you go up, so you're going to go closer to yourself / your bridge. So let's start with the high G natural. So I'm going to click the G here, and then kind of hear how that sounds. Okay, great. So that's how it's going to sound when I try to play it. So a lot of people do G sharp. So instead of that sound, they get this, which is too sharp, basically. That's a G sharp. So you want to go down. So let's hear that again, in case we want to match that. So notice it turned green, so I got it. So that's a low 2. So right next to the 1st finger, like just basically touching it. Now the next note is the A. So the trick to this is kind of like visualizing. Your 3rd finger is there for A usually. You want to put your 1st finger there. So kind of just memorizing or just kind of visualizing where it's going to go. So around here. So matching that A. So let me just get the A here. Oop. Yep. So that's what we want to hear. Oop. Sorry about that. That was a C sharp. But we want to hear that A, that note. So So there it is. So low 2, then A. And then the next thing is B. So the 2nd finger for B should not be like basically touching your 1st finger. It should be actually away from it, not touching it at all. So let's hear what a B sounds like. So we want to hear that. And then C sharp. Okay, so we want to hear that. So just, if you're too flat, of course, move closer to your bridge. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been moving around trying to adjust. And then the high D. There we go. I got it. It was green for a second, but then I stopped playing, so kind of was like, no. But yeah, so there it is. So yeah, let's just go over the basic fingerings again before we play it full through. So low 2 for G, then shift up to that A. Make sure it's not like too close to where your 2nd finger is going to go, because then it's not going to be an A. It's actually going to be a B flat slash A sharp. So just like that A, kind of visualizing where your third finger would go, now your first finger is going there. Then the B should not be too close to the first finger, so kind of like a good distance away. Same with the C sharp, not too close to the second finger. And then that D, that fourth finger should be touching that third finger, basically. And there you go. So this is what a 2-octave D major scale should sound like. And there you have it. And when you're shifting back down, just kind of use your first finger as something your second finger can be basically right next to you, so you're not too sharp. You know where exactly to land with that first finger kind of there. And yeah, that's everything. So I hope this helped. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Awesome job, Angie. Thanks so much for those tips. 7 and 8 orchestra guys, make sure that you incorporate all of those next time you're working on your D scale. Next up, we're going to hear from Alex Flynn from the E-Block Band. Alex is here to talk to us about the use of smart music and how that relates to the integrity of our phrasing and where we put or don't put space between notes. Everybody listen up.
Hi everyone,
Thanks so much.
Alex Flynn, and I'm here to talk about phrasing because smart music won't. In smart music, after you record the song that you're playing, you get a score back. You can still get a really high score even if you have bad phrasing. Like, if you breathe in between every single note that you play, you can still get like an 89%, even though it should be much lower. Just watch. See, I breathed in between every single note that I played, and I still got an 89%. So, that can show you that smart music can help you learn, but it can't help with some stuff, such as phrasing. This is Alex Flynn, signing off.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Alex. Those are great tips. Everybody make sure that we're keeping that in mind as we transition to smart music. It's not going to keep track of your phrasing, so you're going to have to do that all on your own. Well, that's it, everybody. Make sure that you tune in next week as we have a special feature coming up. This is going to be cooking with the music department. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, problems, concerns, or difficulties, as always, get in touch with me by email. We'll set up a meet and help you figure that out. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great week.